One frame at a time, Hat. One frame at a time. Stiff neck today. Old person problems, I think. I got called a boomer in a video comment I deleted. Hard enough being a forgotten Gen Xer, but to us, we aging Gen Xers are now just thrown in with the boomers. Like, we got, it's all just so unfair. Oh, I know, David, but I think it used to, right? Boomer used to just mean actual boomer. Now it means someone older than me, which I think has taken it from an awesome kind of young person takedown of the eldest generation to actually just young people showing how eye-rolly they can be because everybody older than me is blah, right? I'm never playing Runeterra, D. I've given up on that. I thought I might, but don't hold your breath. Go watch somebody else play Runeterra. And all that stuff is still on the list. It's just low on the list. Same thing. I got too much on the plate, D. I don't think it's gonna rise up enough. I don't know. I missed the sub, I guess, which is sad of me. Thank you for the sub. Where was it? Did I miss a notification? I don't see it in chat. But I could have missed it. I thought it was I thought it was awesome at first, Fantasia, because it is look, when you're the youngest generation and you're getting bad advice from the eldest generation that you feel has screwed up the planet and is out of touch with reality, then that's a reasonable comeback. But it almost immediately morphed into something that I just wish would die. No, I don't wish anything popular would die. I don't think that's the conclusion I would draw there. But that's what I mean, Hat. Like, OK Boomer went from kind of clever, specific thing to just another generic, oh, young people hate old people thing. But I don't see it as initially meaning that, Fantasia. I hear it as saying, I dismiss what you are saying specifically because you are out of touch because of your age and your generation are contributing to why what you're saying is worth dismissing, right? But I hear you. I think we're not as far away as we may sound. Let's move on to actually some magic or something. Well, I'm going to just I'm going to go back to core set best of 3 then. It's the only thing that's treating me right. We could do a quick draft Throne of Eldraine, though, I suppose. I would do that, too. So I'll pull that. But I'm not going back to Amonkhet here, and maybe not ever. We'll see. I'll ultimately do what you all want, but I am kind of off it. So we got M21, and that would be best of 3 or Eldraine with the bots. See where people are at. All right.
Some say I never heard of ya, a rap burglar.
Yeah, we could do a some sort of stipulation, I suppose, but I'm just still enjoying M21 for its draftable self. Ugh, stiff neck. That didn't help. Ugh. It's this or worse from here on out. Hello, everyone. I'm going to jump back into a traditional draft of Core Set 2021. That means best of 3. We haven't been doing a ton of best of 3 around here because so many of the options are best of 1. This is our only best of 3 option, and it's the only format that's been treating me with any kindness of late. So I figured I'm going to come back in here and see if it's still going to be kind to us or not. I enjoy this format. I have high expectations of core sets. You will not hear me at this point saying, for a core set that's a decent draft experience, I expect a good to great draft experience out of core sets like I would any other set at this point. The complexity of the cards and the boosters does not need to dictate how the format plays and whether it's fun or not. Maybe it can affect how much legs it has. Maybe if it's a little simpler, you get tired of it a little bit sooner. But at the end of the day, I have found that even simple magic is incredible magic. That's the strength of this game, is that it doesn't need to be complicated to be fun. And I think good core set drafting demonstrates that. And if you want to demonstrate what good retail is, you go to cardkingdom.com. They are my sponsors. You can find them at cardkingdom.com, but especially find them via my affiliate link in the panels down below, or at the link just posted into chat or in the YouTube notes, and you'll find them via my connection to them, and then that lets them know you got there from here. That helps keep me on the air. Maybe the next time I talk with Card Kingdom, I'll get a raise because so many of you are going to Card Kingdom and using my affiliate link to do so. They are my favorite Magic retailer, and if you give them a chance at your business, I think you'll find out why. Thank you, Card Kingdom. Let us pay our 1,500 gems and wait for enough opponents to battle. Looks like we're actually pretty close here. Sideboard advice. During drafting, just be more aware of taking cards that have narrow uses. I mean, I think the key with sideboarding is taking kind of cards in your colors that aren't the obvious sideboard. Oh, this is a destroy target flyer, right? We know what that's sideboarded for. Less obvious are, oh, here's a big dumb beefy dude at the 5-drop slot. Here is a 1/3 for 2 with a bad ability, right? These are the sideboard picks that you need to make to give yourself a chance to just do some curve management. Just be able to say, oh, I'm up against a deck that's using huge, beefy green monsters to beat me. I actually need to bring in that stupid 3/6, for 6, because it actually just blanks most of the creatures I saw them play in the first game. So I think the key to great sideboarding in best of 3 while drafting is being aware that almost any creature can be a sideboard consideration if the stats match up well against what your opponent is doing. So be sure to grab maybe stuff that you don't have. I don't have a lot of 6s, or I don't have any 6s. I don't have much 5. Where are some other spots in your curve that you might need to fill? And then in terms of actually doing the sideboarding, you need to not only be thinking in terms of what do you have in your sideboard that would be good against what your opponent is doing. You need to be looking at your main deck and asking yourself, what is bad about cards in my main deck against what my opponent is doing? because sometimes sideboarding is not about finding the silver bullet that you bring in to take care of some opponent's very specific thing. Sometimes it's about understanding how your opponent is trying to win, how your jobs are failing to manage that, and finding replacement candidates for these positions known as your deck slots that are going to be better at mitigating the issues that your opponent's strategy is presenting to you. Rather than so getting beyond, opponent has flyers, I will bring in kill flyers, right? That's level 1 sideboarding. Level 2 sideboarding is understanding on a meta level about how your opponent is trying to win, on a plan level, sideboarding on a plan level, both for you and your opponent. Dutch says, are the treasure chests on Card Kingdom pretty cool? My lady and I like to get a bunch of random stuff and just make whatever. I have not ever ordered one, but if it's from Card Kingdom, I'm going to put my money on it being cool. Yeah. I mean, like, I assume that it's also going to be, it's if I were in charge of creating a product like that, it would be, I would want you to be happy with the value when you opened it, but probably through value of stuff that I was not selling a ton of regularly anyway. So like, Magic secondary market, I might as well go to Soapbox where we're waiting for this to fill, but basically, not all $15 Magic cards are created equal, right? So if I put these 2 cards in front of you and say, hey, look, go look these up and see what they are worth online, and you find out, oh, Card Kingdom is selling both of these cards for $15, therefore they are worth the same. That's not what's really going on. The retail price of cards does not actually explain their value well, because what matters is how fast that card moves. How much is that card selling? It may be correct that this one card is $15, but it might only sell a copy twice a year, whereas this hot new dual land at $15 is selling 4 copies a day, and people in the store will sell as many as they possibly can. So in terms of populating a product like that, I would aim towards putting in the $15 card that sells once a year or whatever, as opposed to obviously the selling like hotcakes version that's equivalent. But that being said, if randomness is an appeal, I'm sure the value will be there. It will probably just be, the value will be there in stuff that's not moving like hotcakes in the abstract. Because you're still actually managing to buy them. I mean, if you keep it, because you're in a competition, if the store down the street is buying them for 12 and selling them for 17, you need to be doing the same, even if you feel like they're selling so well, they should go up. But that's just the nature of supply and demand, I suppose. I'm not saying anything particularly particularly controversial. Exactly. War Furnace has a nice summary. So anything but the Acolyte, like there's nothing here. Nothing is here is in competition for the Acolyte. 0. Yeah, and it's a great signal. We can try and cut, although not really anything worth cutting here for. I kind of like a Shipwrecked Dowser, or we can just take an Elder. If we're going to take a blue card, maybe we just want the cheapest one, the one that gets on board. Ghostlight and Dowser are both strong cards, but neither get an Acolyte counter on turn 4. So there is that. Ghoul is interesting. We could spec on Ghoul. We have a white card, and white-black life gain is a thing. I don't know. I think if it's a blue card, I'm between Dowser or Elder. Finishing Blow also here. I'm a little torn on this one. You can go any direction almost. I think I'm gonna, yeah, I've been looking at the Dowser. I'm gonna take the Dowser. Let's get back some action. Hey, and like an overload could be a reason to abandon the Acolyte. Although Augur, we could take Augur and try and wheel the overload. Does that ever happen though? Ghostlight and Dowser you could have debates about. I mean, Ghostlight does one thing. They're both 5 mana. Dowser is a 2-for-1. I mean, yeah, we could also just take Chorister if you want to stick with the Acolyte pick. I'm going to take Overload, I think. Thank you for the sub, Double D's. Feel like I haven't talked to you forever, D's. Have you been lurking and just not chatting, or are you coming back from some time away? I don't know. I'm going to take the Overlord, especially because I have trouble getting into this deck. I never seem to get into the red-blue spells, so let's lean there if we can't get into our Acolyte deck. Here we take Magmut, and then Magmut can lead to red-white or blue-white. Or, blue-red. Keeping it surreal, thank you. 20 months, wow. True would be on holding on to the white. I get it. For me, this is partly the fact that I just, like I said, I never end up in red-blue spells. And also with the Acolyte, we did have a good cut of white, although now like white looks to be a little cut this way. Unsubstantiate does the spell thing. Some generic 2s. I'm going to take the Unsubstantiate. I'm going to try and do this. Frantic? Are you guys behind? What am I? Oh, Frantic Inventory. Yeah, we could take a Frantic too. Sorry, I barely see this card because I'm so not in this deck so often. Yeah, we could take... I'm going to take Unsubstantiate, and we'll see about if that Frantic comes back. That's somewhat of a sign. Here we go. Nice, nice. Reign of Revelation, also what we're trying to do here. Burn Bright, if we do find ourselves with the Wizardries, we'll be fine. Pick 9, our gem pick comes back. Sure Strike. Yeah, I went with gems. Couldn't resist. So yeah, if you stuck with white, I think you're in a fine place. There was some decent white and going around, but I'm happy. I'm kind of excited to be headed in this direction. Hey, Nutter, mahalo. What's going on? Is there any chance we ever play any of these? I don't think so. We're in. We're stuck. We're blue-red. We're doing it. Yep. Not even bad as a possible sideboard option, but unlikely. Unlikely. We'll see. Yeah, this is best of 3 here. I can start updating some of the info in the bottom. What do we got here? Another Mutt or Miscast. Now we're not playing Miscast. I guess another Mutt. Boo. You know, you can take a Mythic. I'm supposed to... Oh, Alt. We could take Mythic for collection building. We only have 2 of these. I just don't care enough, though. I'll craft the Worries if we ever need them. Let's take a spell for our deck. You like the Hobble Fiend? That's fair. Hellkite Punisher could be a finisher for a deck like this, but I think we just want a Slag, or maybe a Cur, and then try to wheel the Slag. Yeah, this is built in. If you hit the Alt key, it shows you how many... Check mark means you have 4 copies. All right, I'm into the Slag. Shock is nice, although there is Baron. Baron's very nice as well. I think we need to take Baron. I want this Shock, but Baron good. Capture Sphere is okay. Rewind called for. I'd rather take Capture Sphere, and if we wheel this, fine. I don't care about Rewind too much. I know we're in Instants and Sorceries matter, not Capture Sphere matters. This is why I don't like Capture Sphere all that much. It never seems to align with what blue and red are actually doing with the strategy. I get it. I just feel like, will anybody else... Does people care about this card? I feel like... I'm going to take the Capture Sphere. Right, Prowess is non-creature, but Shipwreck Dowser isn't. Experimental Overload isn't. Tutelage could be a win con here. Do you just take that, or do you like the Ghost Light or the Jester? I would run Rewind 100% of the time too, but I would run Capture Sphere 100% of the time too. So I'm just trying to wheel the card I think is most likely to wheel. Reign of Revelation with Tutelage is silly. Another Overload. Arcanist, good in this deck. Another Unsubstantiate. Lofty Denial as well, but probably just want the Unsubstantiate. Yeah, Pteranodon still being here. Yeah, Denial doesn't quite get there, so let's take Unsubstantiate over the Ogre here. Yeah, we'll only pick 2. We'll get a bunch of Singers next, right? I guess I'm going to take the, go ahead and take the Collection Progress here. Over Megalodon, I think would be my pick here. Surprised the gems made it all the way back around, but we'll take it. Yeah, Dreadmoss still here. We're not playing any of this stuff, though. I'll take an uncommon. Read the Tides. Playable if we have to, but not a priority. I'm going to throw it in the board for now. Wall of Runes. Nice board option, if not main deck, but it can be either a main deck card in this deck that we pull when it's not doing anything, or something we try to leave in the board and bring in when blocking 1 and 2 mana creatures is important. This deck seems okay. Could use a little help here in pack 3. Need some of those wizardries. Shock or a Dragonfire we can take would be nice. Ops. I take Ops would be good for sure. Decent sideboard card here. Waker of Waves could be a place we go with our mana in the end game. Rousing Reed, pretty good too. But we have some card draw. I think we take the Waker. It can be a 2 mana play or something we finish with. Here we get a Rousing Reed that I think we grab. Oh, no, sorry, Heartfire Immolator. I didn't see that for a second. Jester is okay too, but Immolator is where we want to be. Really want a Rousing Reed also, but cannot pass this Immolator. Opt. We're talking about wanting ops. We could take an opt. We can also just take a ghost light, though. What do you think? Are we opting or are we ghost lighting? Might need a ghost light here. We're not doing too much at 5 yet, and maybe we wheel the opt. Haj wants the opt now. I'm going to try and get it later. Love to have a Swiftwater Cliffs, but not at the cost of another rain, given our tutelage. Wow, 540 packs. Why would you buy 500? Like, were they earned? I don't know. Was it an experiment? Were they different sets? Protege over Devils? I think so. Protege works on some level with tutelage, with the looting. Not playing any rookie mistakes, so we'll take a Palladium Mirror. I can't even think of a sideboarding situation where we bring in rookie mistake. Yeah, maybe we run it. I'm really not. I feel like we really bricked on wizardry. Yeah, we bricked on removal and wizardry, so we're now trying to really just work the tutelage, which is a scary proposition because that means if we don't find our tutelage, we could just like maybe they take the thrill. I guess with the tutelage we have to take the thrill. I kind of wanted to take gems in the rare there. All right, Hellkite Punisher probably makes the cut here and is one of our ways to win a game. Big Whale plan B, and now Hellkite Punisher plan C. I guess this is plan B, this is more plan C. Only at 26 spells here, so gotta find just a couple of cuts. Tome Anima doesn't seem like it's ever going to make our cut. Epitaph Golem could this could be one of those things where this has rules text that's unique enough that I'll throw that for a sideboard possibility. This is the kind of thing that I take best of 3 that I would never take best of 1. Can take this, but I don't even think we have any splashing potential in black, so the land doesn't really matter. That we have Destructive Tampering. I don't think we're going to play Prismite either. That will never make the cut, so I'm just going to take Vault Progress. None of this matters. Lofty Denial, probably not enough for the cut given our lack of flyers to make that particularly good. But yeah, the green was clearly pretty unlocked here. Last Pick Cove is interesting. All right, 40 on the grind here today. Should make a note of that while I'm thinking about it. This, just catching up on my spreadsheet here. If I fall too far behind, it all falls apart. M21, we're going to be blue-red today, clearly. And we paid cold hard gems for the privilege. So if we stick with 17 land, only 3 cuts to make here. I am going to do this and this. Look at our overall numbers, 13, 13. Can probably start with a Wall of Runes cut. I don't think we need to start that in the main. I'll bring that in against when it needs to do the blocking job. Waker, Hellkite, make Palladium Mirror fine as a playable. Maybe Burn Bright isn't doing enough here. We didn't find any of those Goblin Wizardries, unfortunately. Maybe even a Sure Strike can go. I'm kind of thinking that. Oh yeah, right. Yes. We put those up here for your, and granted we don't have a ton, so maybe you can make an argument for the wall. Here's a possible 40. The key stuff that we cut being Wall of Runes, Sure Strike. There's Sentinel, there's some artifact creatures that could come in. I'm going to take a brief break, refresh my beverage, and be right back. And you're going to tell me if we're doing any other changes, and you're going to come up with a brilliant name for this deck. We took Baron over Shock. Took the rare. Hello. Sorry, I forgot I was muted for a second. I'm going to go with Never Punisher. And nobody's got any changes. I'm going to call this a deck. We can do some cooler lands, though. Dealer's choice, I guess. Let's look for the cool jump starters. This is very spell looking. Ooh, that's kind of cool. Books. Pirate ships. We'll go with this one, though. Nope. You can try to influence me. I'm going to leave it at 9-8. I think that's correct as well, with the Baron as the double. And let's give it a shot. Let's see what you think of this one. What's my par on this deck? I've not been in this deck much. I know we don't have the Goblin Wizardry, but hopefully we have enough going on to get there. Yeah, we can keep this, especially with the rain. Magmut, hopefully we find something to do on 3. And then rain can pitch away one of these islands. One of these many, many, many islands. Go with Magmut here. If we draw a mountain, having Immolator with the activation is better than exposing it to removal here without any possibility. I mean, hopefully we don't draw a mountain. Hopefully we draw tutelage. Solid, solid. Well, there's the mountain I didn't want. But we will take it and have activation available. Don't think we're going to need it. Just behind the 8-ball a little bit here. Oppo on the Obsatron. No problem there. Maybe I need to trade Magmut off for the Blackguard here. We're not winning a race by activating the Magmut once a turn. And even with Pump, the Blackguard dies, so I'm going to offer the trade. Especially, like, if we have to cast Rain of Revelation as our turn 4 spell, we just can't keep taking that much damage, especially if they follow with something reasonable for 4 mana. Some sort of creature for 4 mana. Like, we are really under it. Kind of want to draw something besides... something to play besides the Rain. Although that's good to see. At least, I mean, not great to see. It's a powerful enough card, but at least it's not hyper aggro. Sure Strike gives us something to do besides Rain, which is an instant anyway, so I'm going to hold here. We could potentially Sure Strike one and then sack Immolator to get the other. Gotta try. I'm gonna try to Sure Strike away the rare. Cross fingers. If this goes badly, we're gonna just have to accept it. Yep. So what we at least get to do is sack it to kill the Truffle Snout. Okay, Waker is interesting. Gonna have to hold and try to actually hard cast that. No need to play this island here. I can start with a Rain. We don't have anything we're doing for 1 red anyway, but anyway. I'm gonna main phase the Rain. I could also just wait. No, we want to... I could play the land and pass. Oh yeah, sorry. I'm all over the place here. Where is it? Where is it? There it is.
He's a big pig. Yup, yup. You can be a big pig too.
What am I gonna do now? Baron can reset the counter on that. That's nice. Blood Glutton is somewhat problematic. Maybe we need to bounce that, but I still think we don't. We just need to... I'm going to bounce the Blight Fang to reset the counters, and then eventually we have Baron plus Mirror to threaten the Glutton. Maybe we take it, though. I mean, Waker is... Oh, no, Waker makes this Death Touch have no power. So, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and try and take this trade. Drop the Waker, and then get back something... Get our Rain back with the Overload. They're hovering over it. Always nerve-wracking. Are they reading it or getting prepared to kill it, right? But they didn't do anything removal-wise the last couple turns, so...
Archer.
What?
Archer?
What?
Archer.
What?
Archer.
What?
Archer.
Tutelage, you
Name
say.
dropper.
How about tutelage? And maybe we even mill an instant or sorcery, like this one, for extra overload. We could attack with the Waker. We've got pretty good defense with the Weird, and they're not showing removal, and we got to kill them sometime, so I'm liking attacking here. I mean, we could just try to win off the tutelage, but... Waker seems like it would win faster, so I'm going for that. Although, gosh, with Rain, maybe tutelage wins faster. Pretty straightforward block for me. I don't know what they might be up to. Maybe it's another archer, but I will trade this token creature for a card in hand or the archer, whatever. So that was weird. That was just kind of a suicide attack. I don't know. I don't know what that was about. Here we can rain and bounce with the unsubstantiate, though. That's nice. Let's rain first, though. I don't even think we need this protege. I just want all these spells. I know protege loots and whatever, but I don't think that's going to be relevant with all of the raining we're going to do with the shipwreck and the experimental overload. All we need to do now is survive to the point that I wonder if we do attack. But again, why not just do it? Why not press on both fronts? It's a clean block, although we do somewhat represent the attacks. Deals damage. Okay, so I'm just gonna, like, I'll give him credit for blocking there. I should be keeping up on it anyway. They got down to 13 there, and we are just being so annoying. So annoying. We are the bad guys. Oppo's deck may have been glowing because of the mill. I might be playing a little loose here with the feeling that it's going to be so tough for them to win. But 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we can get an unsubstantiate back, right? Same thing. Same basic plan there. All right, we stabilized just in time and turned the corner. Best of 3 says we actually get to make a plan against this, and we milled so much of it we get to really see what's going on. Some black-white Finishing blow. Feet is to be played around. Secure might take out our whale at some point. So they're doing some life gain matters stuff. Swift response to be aware of. We could crypt. Were they going after their graveyard much? I don't think enough for the crypt. Really, it's just Obzon life gain matters. Didn't see any artifacts, right? We only really need to look at our blue and our red. Yeah, I mean, we could bounce some stuff. I think we don't need the wall here. Yeah, what's the green for? I guess it's the life gain from Truffle Snout. Maybe they're short on enablers for their life gain payoffs, and Truffle Snout they have 3 Truffle Snouts, which provide a lot of life gain. Lofty just isn't reliable enough. We don't have enough flyers. We really only have the Ghost Light. I'm just gonna run it back here. All hail best of 3. Run it back! No red yet, but a Baron on 3 and a Palladium Mirror to set up a early Punisher if we can find a couple of red. Single red gives us a thrill. I'm going to keep narrowly, but Mirror on 3, solid enough. Ooh. Arcanist on 2 sets up possible alternative plays. All right, nothing from Oppo on 2 is nice, because they come up with a 3, we get to Baron it. We could also just Rain of Revelation here. Not sure we want to Capture Sphere, something that does the lifelink matters thing. I think we just actually go Palladium Mirror and give them a chance. We can even send in the Arcanist. I don't think they can block. I'm going to put them to the test. Let's see what kind of opponent this is. Bold. They know we're red. I could easily go Mountain and Dragonfire. We're not. Yeah, but we... oh, that's right. I already played my land, so maybe my bluff is not so good. Never mind. Good block by Oppo. I should have done it before I played land. Then it could have worked. Let's see what they're going to do here. Oh, shield's down on feet at least. Unsubstantiate. We got 5 total mana, not 6. I suppose we should actually... well, I got 6 for spells. Hold on. Rewind. Boom, boom, boom. Then we're gonna rain. And what do we like least here? Actually, the Thrill might be the thing to go. We do have cards that just like instants and sorceries in the yard, and all the stuff in hand is pretty good here. So I like saying Thrill can go, and we drop a Mountain and get to Baron. Probably going to need to pay 2 to discard the Waker and do the card quality thing. Although now we can cast it. I keep forgetting about this mirror. We should just cast it, right? Then these don't even get the lifelink. Yeah, Hellkite time, baby. Let's see what they think about that. And then we can go Waker. Any attacks to make... No, I'm not going to do any more bluffing there. Let's just do it. Got lucky for that, but I'll take it. I mean, we did not have a single Mountain. We had rain to help us find it, but... That is going to get a lot worse when we shrink down their patricians. Casting Cultivate here says we at least get one swing in. We don't even need to worry about the swift, was it justice response? Swift response? And now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 if we involved an instant or sorcery. So we can cast Unsubstantiate, still have 6, and go Immolator Capture Sphere. Can we do Waker and leave up? How do we do that? 1, 2... Oh, yeah. We can do it. We've got 9. Sorry, I did bad math. We have 9 if we have an instant. So that means we can do what you're saying. Yeah. Waker leaving up unsub is fine. We just need to tap here. Yeah, this is great. I just, in my initial math pass, came up off on my numbers and didn't think we could do both of these. 2 life for each creature with flying. That's going to happen even if we unsubstantiate one. So they are going to get a Griffin area here. But we can unsubstantiate to get rid of some blockers, capture sphere, the Gaggle Master, Immolator. You know, we got stuff to do. Yeah, it's quite a triggering turn. Well, I was thinking we would sub the Airy. That's true. I could have just returned the spell. Sorry, I was thinking of this as purely a bounce spell. I've not really played, like I said, haven't been in this deck before, and I was thinking of that as unsummon, not what it actually does. Big turn from Oppo. We can, I like keep the unsub so we can Heartfire away the Gaggle Master at this point, or maybe we don't need, well, anyway, let's untap. We got a lot of mana anyway. Yeah, we're still in a good spot. I mean, if they don't deal with our 2 biggies, they're kind of in trouble. We don't even necessarily need to unsubstantiate here, but I like playing the Immolator out. Yeah, we could sphere the Gaggle now. That makes some sense. Hodge is like, you're just doing stuff you don't need to do. You're already advantaged. Fair enough. I am going to keep Unsubstantiate, Activate, Immolator up. In fact, we could unsubstantiate one Patrician and immolate the other one. I actually kind of like that now that I've said it out loud. And we could kill the flyer or set him back on Patrician. You say save that. I'm moving in. We get to get rid of one of these Patricians, put the other one in hand so they have to spend time recasting. I think I like letting you have this and sending this back and killing this one. Because they're tapped out and they've shown feet. Don't worry, I'm never punished. Can we just win here? Let's see. We get unsubstantiate back and win. Yeah, I guess they were just feeling like they had to get us or they were going to die, and now we're going to get them. I may have been overconfident in my sequencing towards the end there. I think Hodge's lines of a little more conservatism with the lead we had were probably correct. I mean, we still got there, but that's the whole thing. I mean, I think maybe my choices made that a 95%er and Hodges make it a 98%er. You know what I'm saying? So even though we won, I'm not saying Hodge was wrong. Sometimes, though, Hodge, it's also about the streaming. Like, I tell you, oh, wait, was that 2-0? That's just 1-0, right? That was winning the first match. I think I updated the record when we'd only won a game. I also think I tank too much. So also partly in situations where we're way, way, way ahead, I'm more likely to do some thoughtless casting over going into a 3-minute tank on a 95%er. I know that's not a dichotomy. I know there's a middle ground there, but I am saying I am trying to just actually cast some spells and get on with it too. Another good start, though. This deck is fun. This has been fairly typical, a little bit tough to find start of a draft and start of a match in best of 3. It's too bad. I think if they did give any kind of accolade for performance in here, it doesn't need to be rank. Someone was calling out, it might have even been when we rated Jamie. I think we rated Jamie Topples and she was suggesting a trophy system like Magic Online, just at least, you know, have something on the display that shows how many traditionals you've 3-0'd. If they made a leaderboard of how often people played traditional, it would get a lot more traction. But that might be intentional on Wizards' part. They're like, exactly, we don't want to incentivize it, so we're not going to do that. All right, no 2s yet, but this is nice with the Baron. I'm going to keep it. Also, no real reason to do this yet. I'm like, we got our nice mana and something to do on 3. I'm going to keep. We need some draws, but I'm keeping it. I don't know about intentionally moving people away. I mean, it depends on what you mean. Like, is focusing your incentivization efforts on best of 1 the same as moving people away from best of 3? If so, then I suppose they are. I love that we drew a Magma. That's a fantastic draw. I'm just saying it may be more side effects of what they want to do rather than evidence of specific nefarious behavior. So looking for something to do next turn here, but happy to get a little bit of a tempo start on this Pegasus. Oop, no. Glad that protected me. I agree with you on that, Surion. They could do a lot with best of 3 just by making the pay structure a little bit more average. Like, it's really weird. It's about as steep as Premier. Like, what's the point? I don't even mind if they double the cost if it were just a little bit shallower of a pay scale, but instead they've made everything feel spiky except for bot draft. All right, unfortunately we found nothing to do for this turn. I'm going to offer both of these creatures though. Oh, maybe we should leave. I'll leave Baron back. Now maybe I guess it comes to, do we want to trade either of these creatures for the battalion? Do we want to trade 4 damage for 3? We have nothing to do. And nothing to do next turn either. I'm going to... Unless we draw it. So I'm going to be defensive. I'm going to stay back. I fear Hunter's Edge, or whatever the edge... You know, if they go... kill something. Although our open mana could potentially... cause an opponent to have some pause here. Yeah, you're right, Fantasia. I think people are price averse as opposed to EV averse. You know, if people were all locked into an EV mentality, maybe that would be fine. But people just see the traditional as twice as much as quick. It doesn't exactly work that way when you take into account prizes and everything, but that's what it feels like for people, so. Yes, you literally draft 2 times as often. You literally draft, but you don't necessarily play. Again, it depends on what you're in for. So they didn't attack us at all. I think they're waiting to try and get the battalion a little more settled. This is unfortunate. That was like the worst draw. But at least we're closing in on Punisher. Maybe Punisher ends up being good enough here. I really think the feast or famine nature of the payout is having a huge influence on participation. The price to get in is one thing, but the lousy or the steep payouts I think are the big problem. Gonna go for a single block on the doggy and not 2-for-1 ourselves on the battalion. This could be a feat or something like that, but we got what we got. We got to try something. What is optimal to draft depends on what you're here for and what your win rate is. Hat has shared the spreadsheet that can help you discern what queue is correct for you based on your win rate and how you value the non-currency stuff that this system has to offer. All right, we need something. Boy, how about even just an unsubstantiate? Bounce a token and overload it back or something. We need something here. Help! Help! Does this count? I mean, I could cast it and get it back with the other one. Ostensibly, this is one of the better cards in our deck, but not right now. I personally do it manually, but there are third-party things like Untapped. Is it untapped.gg? Untapped.gg may help you look up your win rate. So we kept us. I liked our keep, but it did have some risk to it, and unfortunately, the lousy end of the risk variance we took on is coming back to bite us here. Now I'm looking to trade Magmut for the Knight token and drop a Punisher and hope somehow, some way they can't attack through it. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Going to 6 at best. At best, we're going to 6. And then are we just dead? No, then Hellkite Punisher blocks the battalion, I suppose. I think we're dead, but we are not. If they're all lands, we still have a chance here. Yep, gotta wait for the wait till the block is complete. I'm ready. I'm so ready to tap Magmut. Thanks for the reminder, though. Obviously, quite in my range to forget. And they passed doing nothing? Okay, okay, we needed that. Immolator is interesting because it if we had anything to trigger it to get it to 3, we could do a kind of a chump eat. But instead, we just really are crossing our fingers on Punisher. Well, there you go. That's the question. It depends on the format. It's by match. So, I mean, if you use something like untap.gg, Gwen, to find your win rate, it's going to be per match. So in best of 1, that's going to be by game, and in best of 3, that's going to be by match. Crazy that we have to just actually trade off the Punisher here, but we are still technically alive.
Your friend here is only mostly dead.
And there you go. A one card answer stops the Pegasus and blocks the Steed. Cross fingers, everybody. Oh man, it's Reign of Revelation, right? I want the, we just need to make use of these it's like we've mulliganed twice, effectively. So close to turning this corner. Come on, deck. Come on! If we were to draw a land, this isn't the worst. We can Immolator... and actually, if we really needed to, we could overload for nothing, and or doesn't he have targets? May return, yeah. So like we do have 3 damage over 2 cards and 8 mana if we are 7 mana if we want it. However, I think we just play this, and if we have to, we chump. Although if they can remove our Waker, we just lose. So there is that. Yeah, we can play the land, though. But this isn't instant, so we have to do it now. There's no, like, we can play the land, but we can't do it at instant speed. That being said, we have card draw in the deck, so we can make an argument to keep playing land for that alone. If the Waker is removed, we lose even if we immolate. So that's the thing. Well, I guess we technically could have played around that, but that would have meant immolating, you know, and I don't think that would have been correct. This is a good deck. We just drew it in the wrong order here. These double Experimental Frenzy with literal 0 target, quite unusual. Although, you know, we have, what's our total? We have 9 minus the 7 options if we have these 2. We just didn't find any of the other 7. We could do something like bring in a Sure Strike, though. We are finding ourselves blocking in this one. A second Sure Strike, cutting down on even like a Capture Sphere to increase our something out of the overload, but maybe I'm just overreacting. And we just say that was a horrible draw. We do have other options. Green-white counter go wide. Read the Tides gets a little better here because bouncing two things that are getting a lot of counters on them are interesting, but I still don't think that it's better than any of our other bounce options that we have for much cheaper. So I think we're just running this back too. Rune Wall, what's the job? Radian? I don't feel like they were so aggro that we need the Rune Wall. But now maybe they will be. We'll see. All right, well, we have an unsubstantiate that we can fire off just, again, to make sure that we're doing something with our overload. Any land and we are on track, so I'm keeping this. I'll try to remember what unsubstantiate does this time, too. I don't think it mattered in that game. We won anyway, but misplayed it earlier. All right, we get Arcanist and hopefully land Protege. That's the idea. Jumpstart lands. As it is, we are not going to do it, but we can unsubstantiate on their turn. It does risk Feat of Resistance, but we have a backup unsubstantiate. And if they go for something like a kitty, you know, Pride Malkin on Mentor, we'll be happy to have the unsubstantiate here. Oh man, if only this were a 2-1. If this were no, they wouldn't have attacked anyway. I mean, we can bounce the battlements, and it sets them back more mana, and we can still block, so I'm going to do that. Well, there you are. I mentioned when you subbed, I said, hey, how you doing? But maybe you didn't hear me. How you been? Well, again, not what we want to see, but I like that we get Immolator down. If they do anything to make the Mentor big, we unsubstantiate it, and then when it comes back down, we can immolate it. They're not attacking Mentor into Immolator unless they make it a 3-3 or a 4-4, and if they do, we weren't blocking with the Arcanist anyway. But enough of this deck. We have a fun, cool deck here. You gotta help us out, though. That is like death knell for us. Wingmare against this deck. Well, we could immolate the Mentor. Kind of like immolating the I mean, we on some level we want to immolate the Wingmare because of how oppressive it is to the rest of our hand. But Mentor is just going to take over the game if they get anything. So it's a bad spot. But if we find land, we at least have Protege that can start looting and find us Ghostlight and Doubt. You know, we have plays if the Wingmare survives. But Mentor just can take over games. So I'm going to get it while shields are down. Although I can attack. Yeah, Guile would be bad. Can't really beat Guile, not going to play around it. That's true. Wingmare is a balanced card. Couldn't have guiled even if they had it. So it is worth noting that they might have guile, because it was impossible to cast there. Cute. Very cute. Well, we can play Magmut and threaten a double block on the Steed. The thing is, I really don't want to lose the Arcanist in this situation. It does at least have a block on the 2/2, and we're at 18, though, so I'm going to play Magmut as opposed to leaving up Unsubstantiate. Oh, two landers. So funny. Funny, funny two landers. Now at 4-3, maybe we do have to do a double block here. If we find a third land, we can protege. But at some point, we got to kill stuff, or what are we doing? Scooperino, come on. We only got one card. We're fine. You'll see.
Your friend here is only mostly dead.
Okay, that might have been the point, though, where we really, really, truly, and surely needed a land there. Oh, man, that was a rough... Oh, I would love to make you shave your head, Radenware, because we are at 9 on this board. We're not that far off with just one land. We can really start the comeback trail, but not getting a land there probably does it. Now I don't know how. Now I just can't see how we could win this. We got to chump into what? Like, yeah, in fact, I will just scoop it up. There's no winning here. Frustrating. Frustrating. Deck is very good and very sweet, but still very susceptible to Magic being Magic, which we were there. Both games, basically. Well, let's take it out on somebody else with a single loss. Original. I'll see if I can find it. I may have cut it. Yeah, sorry, I only have the bin one here. Oh, actually, well, maybe if I go... like this. Here you go, just for you. Carry on my wayward son. All right. Solid keep. Solid keep that's getting more and more solid. I think we go Palladium Mirror on 3, though, looking to unlock our hand for turn 4. Could be Feat of Resistance. If it is, do we care? We would just unsubstantiate it, and that would be fine. I should have done this before casting a spell, but I'm not going to compound the mistake. I'm still going to attack. I'm attacking because I could accept Feat of Resistance. That's the bottom line. Obviously missing on some land here, but with 5, we can still go Arcanist, Unsubstantiate, or even Spellgorger Weird, Unsubstantiate, which I think I like even more. And then we see if they have anything, or maybe go Spellgorger Weird, Arcanist, and just try next turn to do a bunch of stuff. What if I think through my whole turn? I think I'm going to attack with a Mutt, and then see what they want to do, if anything, about it. And then we have Unsubstantiate if there is a feat of resistance. Do I play around Haze? Doesn't seem like... I mean, it kills their stuff too. I'm going to say no. Not playing around Haze. We could, though. I mean, it just means not playing the Arcanist, because if we want to play around Haze, what we're doing is keeping Unsubstantiate to save our Palladium Mirror and grow the Weird. I think I really would like to get some extra mana, but I think keeping Unsub up does give us the most flexibility. And having been watching Criminal Minds lately, it's very funny to call this Unsub. In Criminal Minds, that means unknown subject, aka the serial killer of the week. So we could play the Unsubstantiate, and since we have nothing in the yard and the Overload, I'm going to do it. Let's see if they have feet or whatever here. I'm expecting my interest to taper off as well. I really like Mandy Patinkin, so I'm kind of watching it as a Mandy Patinkin engine as much as anything else. Let's see. We can get Overload back. It increases the Weird. We get the Unsubstantiate, and then we could have that, but I kind of just like attacking now. So I'm going to go attack with everything and play the Arcanist, or if they play something on defense at instant speed, we have the Capture Sphere. He was in, well, he's been in some others. Well, obviously, he's Criminal Minds. He was in a movie I really liked called The Music of Chance. If you've never seen The Music of Chance, check that out. Yeah, let's hold up Sphere. I like that. Yeah, he's done a lot of stage theater, right? Broadway stuff. Well, that card has self-sacrifice, so not worth sphering, unfortunately. But the Chorister might be. I kind of like doing it as opposed to doing nothing. We could do it just to tap it down, because right now the Ghoul does have blocks on non-weird if we go Sphere on Chorister. So it could be worth it just to make Oppo do the Silver Moat wheel spinning for a bit while we try to close out the game. And Chorister not blocking any of this stuff, right? So I'm going to do that, actually. We're going to go for big damage. And maybe with Unsubstantiate and a land, we just could win. Our Punisher, almost there. I like attack with everything, Overload for an Unsubstantiate, and have a real threat to just win the game next turn. In fact, we can Overload for the Unsubstantiate now to force the Chump. It pumps the Weird. All I think this is going to do, though, is make them chump with the Chorister even more, more forcefully. Oh no. Death touch. Maybe? Nah. Like, the hesitation. I was thinking maybe they'd go for the 1 mana +1/+1 and Death Touch or lifelink, but as soon as they unblocked, I knew that wasn't it because it would be such a snap thing to do that it wouldn't be that controversial. They would just do it. Hopefully now, though, they need to do 2 things to win, to keep from losing just to the unsubstantiate. Hey, Magic, thanks for the host. Welcome, Watsy folk and Magic channel watchers. 12, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We don't truly only get them to 11, so it's close, but I still think this is going to be good enough. Yeah, we need Zach here to talk Patenkin for us. Magic frequently, I think it just usually means someone is turned on the stream or just generally that's a sign of Wizards starting it up. All right. Black-white life gain. They've got a couple of the key cards here with the Revitalizes, the Chorister, Glutton, Silvermote. So we saw nothing but solid cards for the archetype from Oppo here. Anything we can do about that? What are we expecting? Trouble is, we just don't have much interaction for that. If we thought they were doing something with artifacts, we could... Yeah, but there's nothing there. Which one? Open fire or... here, I'll give you both. Here's open fire.
What do you mean, Flash Gordon approach? Open fire!
And then here's dragon fire. Yeah, I'm not seeing much to do here except run it back. Another keep. Just, again, need that extra land. Give it to us, deck. Give it to us. Flash Gordon is a super weird movie. But it was kind of like the 70s doing the 50s, right? Whenever the 70s did the 50s, it was always kind of weird. Or maybe we're talking about the act. That was actually 50s, wasn't it? 70s was the movie. Was that the movie or the old TV show? I don't even know. They look very similar. I guess it was in color, right? The original show was in black and white. That would have been a clue. Well, we're just going to hope Tutelage doesn't care about their increasing life total. Let's send Unsubstantiate away. We could send Hellkite Punisher away, but I think we're going to get there eventually with the Palladium Mirror. So I'm going to ditch the Unsubstantiate. We can get it back anyway with the Overload if we decide we need it. I'm going to just take this for now, though. Probably, well, let's see. It has a... Oh, yeah, so they're just going to cycle Revitalize. Yeah, or play Revitalize. Get it back. Strong. But our situation doesn't suck. I'm going to go ahead and play Palladium Mirror here and hold the Immolator activation. And then next turn we just have a lot we can do if the mirror survives. Well, with the mirror, not necessarily. I mean, we can literally play the Punisher next turn with a land drop. And I like going for Heartfire Immolator blocks and then attempts to kill the veteran. Just keeping our life total high and trying to get to our inevitability. Maybe they have feet or whatever. I'm just trading for cards in their hand even. That's fine too. But that's even better, obviously. Couple of Silvermote Ghouls, pretty strong. But we can rain, kind of just like a Ghost Light here, though. Ghost Light, bounce a ghoul, have it block one of the other ones, or block the dog. Don't have Punisher mana yet. We could also rain. If we rain, we're looking at having 2 mana left. We find a third, but then there's nothing really to do with the 3 mana. So, oh, you can't Ghostlight because of the lack of blue. So I guess maybe we have to we could get Unsubstantiate for next turn. I guess we need to rain, huh? And if we rain and find a mountain, we can sure strike the mirror. I want the mirror up for defense, though, so I'm going to tap out, as tough as that is. Ditching. Now I think I'm with you on, like, Punisher's just not the way here. I wanted the mirror because we could play a land and then have an interaction still. It was basically the ability to potentially play the Sure Strike that had me thinking about that. But maybe we should pitch the Sure Strike now. I think this is now the one that doesn't do anything for us. Down to 15 cards up there. And we're gonna go ahead and take 5 and bounce the ghoul. I wanted the mirror up in case we wanted to Sure Strike it, but that didn't happen. Yeah, what does that mean? Is it about these? Have they gained life? I don't know. Oh, visual bug? Okay, just a bug. Now they can sack, but I don't care. This is just to save damage. Whether they put it in hand or let it or do that is irrelevant to me. One, two, three, four, five, six, 7. I mean, we're almost at just killing them off of. I mean, they're at 11. Boy, we just need to survive because we have overload into rain, which we didn't get the land though. We needed an 8th land. We only have the 7. Well, we can thrill. I like thrill into overload. But shouldn't we thrill first? Yeah, thrill, pitch, dragon. Dragon's not how we're winning this. Seven. And now we can drop this. We have sphere at the ready. We could bounce something. I kind of like at this point. Well, now we can just overload our thing back and have. Let's just make a big blocker. I mean, overload is so good here. We get one big blocker and the mirror and the Reign of Revelation that just like wins us the game next turn. And we can use mirror to block now. We don't need this for mana anymore. Probably going to sack the other ghoul because they need some kind of answer. I guess maybe they're going to gain life. Nope. All right. Well, let me tell you, this deck was awesome except for the points at which it struggled on mana. So we only ended up with a 2-1, but one of the... I haven't drafted the archetype much, but that's the best blue-red deck I've had. Again, not that I've had many. But, wow. Good way to finish. 3-0 would have been nicer, but I'll take it after more frustrate. Hey, we only got 2 wins in each of our events today, but somehow the 2 wins from the best of 3 felt a lot better than the 2 wins from the premiere, huh? JK trying to get me to keep going, but not going to happen today, unfortunately. I got some work to do. I got a meeting this evening and some work to do ahead of that. And some videos to go post, I suppose. Thank you so much for hanging out, though. If anybody wants to redeem the raid captain, you can tell us where we're going. But in the meantime, I'm going to say goodbye to our friends on YouTube. Thanks for hanging out for this one. Hope you enjoyed that, and we'll catch you again for the next one. See ya.